The summary of Steve Jobs, The Unauthorized Autobiography. Brought to you by Click-Through College. Early life. Born in San Francisco on February 24, 1955, Stephen Paul Jobs was the unwanted child of Joanne Schiebel and Abdul Fattah Jandali, a young unwed couple who gave him up for adoption due to cultural and familial pressures. Adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, a blue-collar couple from Mountain View, California, Steve Jobs' early life was shaped by his adoptive parents' loving nurture and his own burgeoning intellectual curiosity. Paul Jobs, a mechanic, and a carpenter, introduced young Steve to the wonders of innovation and problem-solving. They spent countless hours in the family garage, where Paul would fix cars and tackle DIY projects while instilling in Steve an appreciation for craftsmanship and a deep understanding of how things work. This was the genesis of Steve's affinity for the symbiosis of form and function, a core element of his future philosophy in product design. On the other hand, Clara Jobs, an accountant, encouraged her son's education and offered support whenever Steve's exploratory instincts led him. Despite their limited resources, they went above and beyond to foster Steve's interest in technology, even buying him a Heath kit, a build-it-yourself electronics kit, to feed his curiosity. These formative experiences established Steve's passion for electronics and gadgetry. Steve's biological parents later married and had a daughter, Mona Simpson. Although Jobs did not know about his biological sister until his adult years, their eventual relationship would become a significant part of his personal life. However, Jobs always considered Paul and Clara his real parents, indicating the profound influence they had on him from an early age. Education. Steve Jobs attended Cupertino Junior High and Homestead High School in Cupertino, California. During his schooling years, he exhibited a precocious streak, often engaging in pranks and showing impatience with structured education. Despite this, his sharp intellect and curiosity were apparent. During his high school years, a significant friendship blossomed between Jobs and Steve Wozniak, a University of California, Berkeley dropout. Wozniak's brilliance in electronics and shared love for pranks resonated with Jobs, forging a partnership that would eventually revolutionize the technology world. Upon graduating from high school, Jobs enrolled at Reed College in Portland, Oregon, in 1972. Reed was an expensive liberal arts college, and though Paul and Clara had saved for his education, Jobs felt guilty about the financial strain his studies put on his working-class parents. 6 months into his studies, he decided to drop out. However, Jobs didn't leave the academic world completely. He started auditing classes that piqued his interest, living off free meals from the Hare Krishna temple and returning Coke bottles for food money. One of these classes was calligraphy, a seemingly impractical course that would later inspire the assortment of typefaces and proportional fonts used in the first Macintosh. Jobs' unconventional educational path had its ups and downs, but it fundamentally shaped his approach to business and innovation. His disregard for the status quo and his ability to follow his intuition became hallmarks of his style and were reflected in his future ventures. Founding of Apple. In 1976, an audacious venture started in the modest confines of the Jobs family garage. Steve Jobs, along with his longtime friend Steve Wozniak and the lesser-known Ronald Wayne, founded Apple Computer Inc., named after Jobs' fondness for apples. Their goal was to sell the Apple I, a personal computer designed and hand-built by Wozniak. Apple I was a bare circuit board. It was a kit computer, intended for hobbyists who would build their cases and add their own keyboards and monitors. Despite its bare-bones nature, Apple I was revolutionary because it was essentially a plug-and-play device at a time when other kit computers required soldering components onto the circuit board. To finance the creation of Apple I, Jobs sold his Volkswagen van, and Wozniak sold his prized HP calculator. They managed to produce 200 units, which were sold to a local retailer, the Byte Shop, for $500 each. The success of the Apple I spurred the trio to further refine their product, leading to the development of the Apple II. However, Ronald Wayne, fearful of financial risk, sold his share of the company for a mere $800 just 12 days into Apple's founding. This left Jobs and Wozniak as the primary forces behind Apple. In 1977, Apple Computer, Inc. officially debuted the Apple II at the West Coast Computer Fair. The Apple II was a significant upgrade from its predecessor. It had a sleek case containing a built-in keyboard and power supply, making it more consumer-friendly. Most notably, it was capable of color output, a first for personal computers. The Apple II became wildly successful, often credited as the computer that brought personal computing to the mass market. Its popularity fueled Apple's growth, and the company went public in 1980, making Jobs and Wozniak multimillionaires. During this period, Jobs was not just focused on product development but also on building a robust company culture. He wanted Apple to maintain a countercultural ethos combined with a relentless pursuit of perfection, personal computing accessibility, and beautiful design. This mix created an innovative and powerful company culture that became part of Apple's DNA. The founding of Apple was a landmark event in technology history. It set in motion the personal computer revolution and established the framework for Apple's future success and its ethos of combining technology and design to create consumer-friendly products. The Macintosh and departure from Apple. In 1981, IBM entered the personal computer market, posing a significant threat to Apple's dominance. In response, Jobs took control of a small project named Macintosh. His vision was to create a user-friendly, affordable computer with a graphical user interface, GUI, a radical idea at the time. The development process of the Macintosh was intense, marked by Jobs' perfectionism, pushing his team to their limits. He insisted on an intuitive, easy-to-use interface, leading to the adoption of the mouse, another innovation. Jobs envisioned the Macintosh as a computer for the rest of us, distancing Apple from IBM's business-centric model. On January 24, 1984, Apple introduced the Macintosh. The launch was highlighted by a Ridley Scott-directed Super Bowl commercial that depicted Apple as a beacon of hope against an Orwellian oppressor, a direct jab at IBM. However, despite the fanfare and initial sales success, the Macintosh didn't live up to expectations due to its high price and limited software. As the Macintosh faltered, tensions within Apple escalated. Jobs' management style became a source of contention, and his relationship with CEO John Sculley, whom Jobs had personally recruited, soured. After a failed attempt to oust Sculley, Jobs was stripped of his managerial duties in 1985 and resigned from Apple, the company he had built from scratch. Next and Pixar. Following his departure from Apple, Jobs wasn't idle for long. He ventured into two significant projects that would shape his second act. Next Inc., a computer platform development company targeting businesses and higher education, and Pixar, an animation studio. Next was an outlet for Jobs to channel his belief in the power of technology to improve work and education. The first Next computer, with its distinctive cube shape, was introduced in 1988, boasting an innovative optical storage disk, a magneto-optical drive, and the Unix-based NextStep operating system. However, the machine's high price limited its appeal. While Next floundered commercially, its technology was groundbreaking. Tim Berners-Lee famously used a Next computer to create the World Wide Web, and Next's object-oriented programming environment paved the way for today's app development. Parallel to Next, Jobs purchased the graphics group, later renamed Pixar, from Lucasfilm in 1986. Pixar was a struggling business, attempting to sell high-end computer hardware to a limited market. However, the company also had a small team working on computer animation, which attracted Jobs. He saw potential in blending technology and storytelling. Under Jobs' leadership, Pixar partnered with Disney to produce the first fully computer-animated feature film, Toy Story, in 1995. The film was a blockbuster hit, setting Pixar on the path to becoming a dominant player in animation. Return to Apple. By 1996, Apple was on the brink of bankruptcy. The company had lost its innovative edge, and its product line was convoluted. In a surprising turn of events, Apple acquired Next for $429 million, marking Jobs' return to the flailing company. Initially, Jobs came back as an advisor, but he quickly rose to interim CEO, or ICEO, as he termed it. Jobs wasted no time in restructuring Apple's product line, phasing out several products, and streamlining the company's focus. He envisioned a product matrix with 4 quadrants: desktop and portable devices for both consumers and professionals. This led to the creation of the iMac. Introduced in 1998, the iMac was a bold and colorful departure from the beige PC boxes of the time. Its distinctive design, combined with powerful performance, was a hit, breathing life back into Apple's sales and image. Jobs had signaled the start of Apple's renaissance. Jobs also initiated a shift in Apple's retail strategy. Unhappy with the way Apple products were presented in stores, he decided to open Apple-owned retail stores. The first Apple stores opened in 2001, providing customers with a hands-on experience with Apple products and offering the high-level customer service Jobs envisioned. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple started making strides in the music industry as well. The company introduced the iPod in 2001 and the iTunes Store in 2003, disrupting the music industry and setting the groundwork for Apple's growing dominance in the mobile technology sector. Throughout his second tenure at Apple, Jobs' sharp focus on the intersection of technology and liberal arts guided the company's innovation. His return to Apple marked the beginning of one of the most remarkable comeback stories in business history. Apple, which had been on the brink of extinction, was about to introduce products that would forever change the way people interact with technology. Innovations and success. The early 2000s marked a period of incredible growth and innovation for Apple. The company expanded its product portfolio, moving from a computer company to a consumer electronics company, dramatically increasing its influence and market share. In 2007, Apple introduced the iPhone, which revolutionized the smartphone industry. The iPhone combined a phone, an iPod, and an internet communication device into one product with a sleek design and intuitive touch interface. The success of the iPhone was immense, cementing Apple's position as a technology powerhouse. Following the success of the iPhone, Apple launched the App Store in 2008, creating a new way for developers to distribute software and for users to easily find and install applications. This was another game-changer, further increasing the iPhone's appeal and setting a precedent for modern mobile app distribution. The iPad was unveiled in 2010, carving out a new category of devices between smartphones and laptops. The iPad proved there was a market for tablet computers, triggering a slew of similar products from competitors. Jobs' ability to predict consumer behavior and his unwavering commitment to simplicity and usability were evident in these innovative products. During this period, Apple also updated and expanded its Mac lineup and continued to innovate in the music industry with various iterations of the iPod and the introduction of iTunes digital music sales. By focusing on product excellence and a unique, cohesive ecosystem, Apple had not only recovered from its near collapse but had also risen to unprecedented heights. Health issues and death. Despite these professional successes, Jobs faced significant personal challenges. In 2004, he announced that he had been diagnosed with a rare but operable form of pancreatic cancer. He initially sought alternative treatments, delaying surgery, a decision he later regretted. Jobs' health visibly declined in the late 2000s, raising concerns and questions about the future of Apple. Despite his condition, he continued to lead the company, introducing new products and setting strategic directions. However, his gaunt appearance at product launches and reports of liver transplant fueled speculation about his ability to continue as CEO. In January 2011, Jobs announced he was going on medical leave but would remain involved in strategic decisions. He made his final public appearance in June 2011, presenting the plan for Apple's new Cupertino campus to the City Council. In August 2011, Jobs resigned as CEO, naming Tim Cook, Apple's chief operating officer, as his successor. Jobs took on the role of chairman of the board, expressing his belief in Apple's future success. He passed away on October 5, 2011. Legacy. Jobs' death marked the end of one of the most extraordinary careers in tech and business history. His visionary approach and unwavering commitment to design and usability transformed Apple into one of the world's most valuable companies. His products changed how we interact with technology and shaped global industries including music, mobile communications, and digital publishing. Jobs left a lasting legacy at Apple. His design philosophy, his meticulous attention to detail, and his focus on placing the user at the center of the experience are deeply ingrained in Apple's culture. This vision continues to guide Apple, as seen in its consistent production of innovative and user-friendly products. Beyond Apple, Jobs' impact is evident in the broader tech industry. His influence on entrepreneurship, leadership, and innovation is vast. Many tech leaders cite Jobs as a significant influence, imitating his management style, product design approach, and customer focus. Despite criticisms for his aggressive and demanding personality, Jobs' contributions to technology and design cannot be overstated. He was a unique figure whose life and career have inspired countless books, films, and articles. The summary of Steve Jobs, The Unauthorized Autobiography.